So Tucker's parting words were, "I'll see you on Monday." So he had no idea he was getting fired, which I'm saying I love this so much for him. How long do you think Fox has been planning this breakup, and why now?
I think that it had everything to do with Dominion, and I think it has everything to do with the lawsuits that are coming.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think, and I'm going to add another factor that I believe contributed to it. Fox right now is in renegotiating for their cable contracts. And I believe that there is a financial aspect with regards to, they can say, hey, we don't have this liability anymore, in addition to the lawsuits that are happening.
I want to talk briefly. I mistakenly had an argument with someone I know. I won't say who they are, but they're a Republican in their mid-60s about Tucker Carlson. And we were talking about them getting dumped by Fox. And they got very upset with me. They said, well, what do you care anyway? You don't watch Tucker Carlson. And I said, you're right. I don't watch Tucker Carlson. But people I love watch Tucker Carlson. And they watch Laura Ingraham and Hannity. And I have watched their reasoning skills over the years soften like cheese left out in the sun. They were once moderate and supportive of consensus building and kindness, and now they're just tied up in anger and fury. And they complain about how much is wrong with the country. And at the same time, they seem to be very certain that they themselves don't have to get up and do anything about it. And I could almost I could almost understand Tucker Carlson, the little serpent. I could understand what he does to manipulate these people that I love, if there was at least a call to action from him at the end. If Tucker Carlson said, these people are out to get you, but here's what you can do. You can register new voters. You can organize. You can phone bank. You can turn off the TV and work for what you want this country to be. But he never said that. He just said, hate these people, and just sit there. You deserve to just sit there and hate because you're white and this country belongs to you and no one else. And that's where Tucker Carlson's sickness becomes something that I had to worry about, and you guys had to worry about, and all of us have to worry about, because people we love are infected by it.
So here's a point I would love to make based on what you've just said about why it matters to people who don't watch Tucker Carlson. And the very best example that we have is Ralph Yarl and the man who shot him. His own grandson was on TV, and he said, my grandfather has been watching Fox News over and over and over again, every single day, all day. And he turned into a person that I hardly recognize. And that is why, for people who don't watch Fox News, that is why it matters to us and to our families and to our friends and for our very safety.
I would also like to add, Tucker was a huge anti-Ukraine voice.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the propaganda that he was pushing and the effects that it had just from our stance as a country with regards to the Ukraine and how public opinion is waning, and what effect does that have on the world? I don't know if you guys caught this, but Rachel Maddow did an amazing segment the other night where she was like, why is he so pro-Russia? This Tucker Carlson literally looks like he I don't want to say is working for him directly, but I will say this. There was a lot of Russian propaganda or Russian media sites that were very angry to see him go, that parroted his talking points a lot. And, I believe one even offered him a job.
Yeah. And I would say not only did they parrot his talking points, he parroted their talking points. And when you think about Russia, and really where we all should be feeling about just the atrocities that are being committed, which are really just too horrible to speak of. How could anyone go on TV and speak positively about Putin and Russia and what they're doing to Ukraine? It is very, very sad. And Mary and Jerry, my favorite word, Gary, bewildered. I'm just simply bewildered.
Who will be stepping into Tucker's role? Who will be bringing in the over 3 million viewers?
In regards to who was going to replace Tucker, and I'm going to dampen the fun of Democrats, as I sometimes do, but there was, I noticed, this predictable flood of, cynical, lazy Democrats who considered themselves to be oh so wise by rushing to social media and saying, well, who cares that Tucker's gone? someone else is just going to take his place. And to those most unhelpful Democrats, I say this. First of all, you're not blowing anyone's mind with that obvious little chestnut from Media 101. Yes, that's probably going to happen. But second, someone else is going to take Tucker's place. I say, fine, I'm going to work to swat them down too, because somebody else is always going to come along and try to harness hate. It's the laziest way to grab influence. That's not news to anyone. Read the Bible, right? It's there. It goes all the way back. What happened to Tucker Carlson is a very big deal because for whatever reason, and it probably wasn't a moral awakening at Fox, it probably came down to money or ego or power, but it was a reckoning nonetheless. And it was a humiliation, a public humiliation. And Tucker Carlson's name is forever going to be associated with a failure that is so impressive that not even being the biggest name on his network and the millions of dollars he brought in, he still wasn't worth keeping around. They shafted him without even telling him because they wanted to just wash their hands of him. And it's great.
Who's next on the chopping block?
Maria Bartiromo. She had to go.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Maria Bartiromo. I think Ingram and Hannity, if they weren't walking the line before, they are now. But Bartiromo has been singled out numerous times. And you can pull a lot of clips where she's really pushing the Dominion thing. And I would not be surprised to see her get...
For me, it was for someone to be as intelligent as she is, to appear so ridiculously stupid on this show. and to say that at the end of the day, after having all those conversations, that she still believed it. She just got to go for being stupid. And so that's my vote. You just can't be that stupid and continue to be on TV. It's just unacceptable.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you can.
You can, but you just shouldn't. You just shouldn't.
Terry, was it you who posted the TikTok about, is it the Arkansas governor who posted this thing that reads like an SNL skit?
No.
Yeah, that was a real, you haven't seen Real Women of Politics? Real Women of Politics, that?
Yes.
I saw it.
I showed it to Corey. I mean, he didn't think it was real either, right? It looks like you could throw that on SNL. I hope it's on SNL this week.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and she put it out late Sunday night, I want to say. It was just weird. She threw it up on her website. It is a spoof of the Real Men of Genius ad, but it's instead saying Real Women of Politics. And she highlights herself, the South Dakota governor, I believe, the Alabama governor, and then one other. And basically they're advertising these koozies, and they're talking about what it means to be a real woman. And then at the end, they're talking about how, oh, if your koozie happens to cover up your woke beer, then that's not so bad too. Here's the thing, Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch is a huge contributor to the Republican Party.
Sarah, okay, I didn't know we were going to talk about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And
we were talking about stupid people, and
I have a nickname for Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and she is kind of a koozie. I don't, that's like a good word for her. I don't know what
it is.
But
I
really loathe her. She's stupid. She has no personality. She always looks like somebody just punched her in the stomach and she's about to throw up her lunch. I can't stand. And they made her governor?
I don't know if I should say this, but I don't know if you want to just, I'm going to say it. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders looks like if you take NyQuil and DayQuil at the same time.
So I want to be clear. We're not talking about her looks. We're just talking about that she seems like she's really unclear about what's happening and what she's saying and what she's doing.
She's horrible.
I'm not talking about her being attractive or unattractive. I'm talking about the general thing on her visage.
Demeanor.
Demeanor, yes.
So Sarah Huckabee Sanders' brother hung a dog. You guys know that, right?
No.
And yes, like they're just terrible people. So he hung a dog, and then the father, who was governor at the time, tried to cover it up. Like they're just horrible human beings. It's just, there's a sensitivity chip missing.
Yeah, there's something missing. Do you remember the time when when Mitt Romney went on vacation and he had the dog on top of the car?
Yes.
Yes.
I just brought up Snopes real fast. The claim is that the son of former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee once killed a dog at Boy Scout camp. One of those young men was 19-year-old Clayton Frady of Texarkana, and the other David Huckabee, the youngest son of Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. Huckabee was 17 at the time of the slaying. Why the dog was killed, different reasons are offered. It was mangy. It looked like it was going to attack. Okay, I'm done. All right, we got to move on.
Yeah, basically they're horrible people. I mean, let's just leave it at that.